He hasn't gone into one single home. So if you're on the telesale train, definitely get your notepads out and ready, and we're gonna get some great stuff from him. So Tristan, if you could go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from and how you were introduced to Family First Life, that would be great.
Sure. So my name is Tristan Bennett. I got introduced into Family First Life by an old friend from high school. She had, I'm from New Orleans, by the way, sorry. New Orleans, Louisiana. So I had spoken to one of my childhood friends, telling her what I was doing. I was working for a brokerage in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and telling them that they were going to open me an agency and I was going to start building a team. And one of my friends had mentioned Marcus McCall, and I was doing in-home appointments. I was putting in maximum effort with this other brokerage and not seeing a whole lot of return. So I got in contact with him, and for me, it was really like numbers talk, BS walks. So he showed me, and I was all in from there.
Love that. And you came to convention. You hadn't even wrote a policy yet, right?
Before no, convention? So I was actually rewriting. No, I think that was my first week. Really, I just finished my first week. And then I was fired up by convention already. But I had bought leads that first week. And then, but basically one of my first couple weeks in the business.
Love it. Yeah. So give me a little bit of insight on convention, what that has done for you to propel your business so quickly. Cause I know that
it was so much fun. It was awesome meeting everybody, getting to see the people I was talking to, or getting to meet face-to-face the people I was talking to every day. Mozaz, Marcus Gage, Kristen, Alex V, Alex G. I mean, everybody in the Chico office and you engage, and just really getting to meet everybody really just put things in motion for me and concreted me here. Honestly, I was skeptical at first, but when it all clicks together perfectly, it's just undoubtedly where you're supposed to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was so grateful for you to come to convention, and anyone that is debating, can I afford to go to this conference, or can I afford to go to the Hall of Fame meeting? Trust me, getting to those meetings will pay you long-term, will pay you short-term too. Leaving those meetings, just the conviction you have and the belief that you have that you can do this, it truly is going to put you in the right spot to succeed. So get yourself to any of those conventions that you can, conferences, meetings, anything at all. So Tristan, you have been doing all telesales, one call closes. Have you been booking any appointments, or is just one call closes? Is that right?
No, so I never go into a call thinking I'm going to book an appointment. I attempt to do a one call close, and it's about half of the sales that I do are one call closes. But I'd say the other half are following up relentlessly, not so much to where it's aggravating, but if they're not ready right then and there, I'm telling them, okay, I completely understand. Talk with your family, talk with your wife, husband, and what's a good time to call you back? I mean, are we talking tomorrow? Are we doing a few days from now? And they're giving me a time, and I'm going to say, all right, so I'm going to put that in my calendar, but can you go ahead and write that in that time for me as well? So, they're kind of concreting that they're expecting a call from me in 2 days, and we're going to continue with what we talked about.
Absolutely. So what type of leads are you running for the one call closes?
So data leads. I'm not doing, I have not dived into live transfers yet, but it's strictly data leads from a few different resources. I actually learned this week that you can't just depend too heavily on one, because when they get oversaturated, your performance will show. It's like, don't put all your eggs in one basket, as they say. So I've been, having to kind of delegate what lead sources I'm using, but
I know. And like, people will complain about leads, but you got to remember that a lead is a family to help. So if you're complaining about a lead, go try a door knocking like Juan Rivera was and trying to sell internet, and then try to complain about a lead.
Something funny. One of my first weeks or two buying leads, I had called Gage, and I said, Gage, these leads suck, man. Like these are not good. And he was like, no, like, hold on. The leads don't suck. You suck. What's your dial pattern? And I was like, okay, you're right. So like after that, I exploded again and like had done twice what I did the week before. And it's It's really about utilizing people who have already done this and who are in whatever field you're in, and just using them to your best advantage. They have tons of knowledge to share, and if you can implement it into your process and make it your own, you can teach others how to do it as well.
Yeah, I actually remember that combo because I was like, Gage, what the heck? He was like, wait a minute, the leads don't suck, you suck. And I was like, oh my gosh, you just
I love that. I use that to people now. Like,
but it's true. It's like you could get better, and we're all getting leads. We're all working the same leads. There's no one person that's, getting some magical lead. We're all working them. So it's really just up to you to get better and to change your mindset about it. And you will succeed if you just put the work in. And I'm sure he was probably asking you, like, how many dials did you make? How many contacts did you make? And did you track your dials? Do we know the timeframes that you're dialing for? And getting those numbers down is super important. So that way you can have some coaching from that.
Exactly. I'd call the nectar leads one time and then not try again and be like, oh, they don't want it.
Yeah. No, it's so true. That's another thing. Good point is that if you buy, a batch of leads and the one batch you buy, you didn't get a good batch, that doesn't mean the leads suck. That means you got a bad batch. It is what it is. I know Gage always uses the analogy, which I love, is like when you were younger and you were buying decks of like Pokemon cards, when you bought a deck of Pokemon cards, sometimes you're like, these are all duds. Did that mean you weren't going to ever buy Pokemon cards again? No, you buy the next batch and then you're like, oh, I got the gold, whatever, whatever Pokemon it was. But it was like, oh, I found the missing piece I needed. It's like, you still continuously are needing to buy them because it's like, it doesn't mean the Pokemon cards suck or like that it's a, scrap them all in all. It's just, you got a bad batch, get some more. And so I wanted to kind of go over a little bit about your telesale, kind of like the one call close intro, because a lot of people are trying that. And since you're not doing the live transfers, you are outbound calling these people and getting them set up right away. Let's kind of role play with you with that one call close. So I'll do a ring and then I'll answer and then we'll go from there.
Perfect.
So ring.
Am I supposed to do the ring?
Hello?
Ring. Hey, Michaela, this is Tristan Bennett. I'm the medical field underwriter in the state of Texas. So I was getting back to you in regards to the request you sent in for the final expense programs. So I am the state regulated benefit coordinator. I had some of your information here. Looks like you filled out beneficiary name, Gage Pert. You were looking for $15,000 in coverage and had your favorite hobby as jazzercise. Does that sound accurate? Do you remember filling that out?
Oh yeah, I love jazzercise.
Awesome. Yeah, never tried it, but I love my fitness as well. So really, I like to ask my clients, what exactly has you looking into life insurance? And better yet, what do you want it to do for you, Michaela?
Well, honestly, I wasn't quite sure. I just saw the ad about final expenses. I wanted to look into it. I'm not really sure. Okay.
So I'd say, final expense plans, they really are designed to cover the cost of burials, funerals, and leave some money behind for beneficiaries. God forbid you pass. So I wanted to go into a little bit about what they do, how they work, the difference between whole life and term. And let's talk a little bit about it. So how much do you know about life insurance and whole life? Anything at all, or you want me to give you a rundown?
I know that my dad had it when he passed, but that's all I know.
Gotcha. So death benefit is guaranteed to remain level, along with your monthly premiums. They'll never go up. So level meaning that your price will never increase for the face amount that you choose, and the amount that you choose will never go down unless you were to take a loan out of the policy or something like that. So the good news is that you're locked in at current health, current age, and it's going to stay the same for the duration of your life. It's going to pass to your beneficiary quickly when you pass, and it's going to avoid probate courts. Usually pays out within 24 to 48 hours of notification of your passing. And it's going to take the burden off of your beneficiary, so they can mourn peacefully, not have to have a financial burden on top of losing a loved one. So I'm glad that you're looking into it. I dealt with it with my own grandparents where they didn't have anything in place. Saw my parents struggle with that while on top of mourning. And it's really good that you're looking into that and getting some information. So what I like to tell people is that I'm going to medically qualify you for the amount that you choose. So the most important thing today to do is to get you medically qualified. So I'm going to ask you some health questions. And if you have any additional questions, go ahead and ask.
Okay. So what do I need to do?
So I'm going to ask you some simple health questions really quickly, just kind of get a gauge of what we're looking at, and also see which carriers are going to give you the best rates. Some are more friendly than others when it comes to conditions or prescriptions. So let's dive into these questions really quickly. Have you had anything major happen, like cancer, heart attack, stroke?
No.
Okay, awesome. Anything minor, smaller stuff like diabetes, high blood pressure, or cholesterol?
No.
All right. And how about anything respiratory, COPD, emphysema, or asthma?
Nope.
All right, awesome. Making my job easy. Any kidney or liver diseases or surgeries in the past 5 to 10 years?
No.
All right. So see, no reason you wouldn't get a preferred rate. If something does pop up in the prescriptions, we can do, I'm the underwriter, so I can pull some strings and try to get you a preferred rate. So as far as prescriptions go, you taking anything currently?
I do take a metformin for I'm not a diabetic, but pre-diabetic.
Okay. So that metformin, is that for diabetic neuropathy, or is it just for some pain?
It's just for the blood sugar.
Blood sugar. Gotcha. So it shouldn't be a problem at all. So what I'm going to do is put the information that I have for you. I'm going to verify some demographics with you, address, height, and weight, as well as, are you a smoker, Michaela?
No.
All right. Awesome. So I'm going to put your information into a quoting tool, the coverage amount for $15,000. And when we do that, I'll be able to see the best rates across 20 to 30 companies. So the good thing about working with an underwriter is that you also have access to a broker. So I write for 20 to 30 different companies. We compare those quotes, and obviously we go with the one that's giving you the best price at the coverage amount that you wanted. So I'm going to pull that application up. Like we talked about, getting you medically qualified is the most important thing. So we'll do that. And then, we can set the draft date for whenever, whether it's correlating Social Security, but let's go ahead and get you medically qualified. It takes about 10 minutes, and let's get you covered, family protected.
Awesome. So I like that intro. That's definitely, just getting straight to the point for sure. What are some of the objections that you've had to overcome? Because I know telesales is a little bit different than in-home objections. So I know me personally, I've dealt with some, which is kind of the, I don't have time for this, or I don't want to do this today. How are you kind of overcoming some of those to get them to the point that you need them to?
So the objections I get most often are, if I can get them on the phone, I build some rapport beforehand, kind of put me on the spot a little bit. So it's like, I do ask them, like, I guess your beneficiary is gay. So who is that? I see that's your spouse. How long have you guys been married? Or, I see you have your 2 children. Do they live close by? So I worked in final expense market before this. So you do have to get them to trust you over the phone, let them know you're a real person. I like working Louisiana calls because they're special. They're a different breed, and they like to joke and like to have fun and pick at each other and stuff. So I really do try to build some rapport. So that kind of gets over the main objections that I get when it comes to Social Security, banking info, that kind of good stuff. I'm giving them, I'm sending them a text message with my license, the state license that I'm working in. So if they answer, if they're not answering first, second call, I send that to them anyway. And I say, hey, send them a text script. So when it comes to, I don't have time for this or anything like that, I'm like, listen, I understand you don't have time, but if you were to pass tomorrow, what do you have in place that's going to protect your family? It kind of makes them stop and think for a second.
Yeah.
And it's like, so you don't have to choose your coverage options today, but I at least want to get you medically qualified. That way you're locked in at current health and current age. And they're like, all right, let's do it. And, sometimes some of the meanest ones turn out to be favorite clients, because I had a guy one time, I answered and I called him by his first name, because I don't really say, how are you doing or anything like that. I just get straight to the point. And I'm like, hey, I forget his name, but hey, Nick, this is Tristan. I'm a medical field underwriter assigned to your case. And he said, hold up. Don't call me by my first name like you know me. And I said, all right, Nick, what do you want me to call you? I said, what's your first name? He said, Nick. I said, all right, Nick, let's continue. Like he still sends me text messages and stuff. So it's getting over that initial, just have confidence in your ability to speak to people, be personable, let them know you're a real person. But when it comes to objections, as in Social Security and banking, you let them know that there is no possible way to get life insurance without verifying identity, and also getting social so they know who to pay out. And banking info, it's like, well, you could do it old fashioned, have it sent to you, but they want to know you're serious about the coverage. So let's lock in the banking info. We'll get that squared away. And then when that's done, you can choose the draft date. So of course you have the ones that you just can't get, and you reach back out to them. Are you ready to protect your family? But other than objections, I just don't really give them time to give me objections unless they hang up the phone. Then I'm like, oh, I didn't do something right.
Yeah, no, for sure. And how many presentations, with you doing the telesales approach, how many presentations are you like shooting for a day?
So I aim to talk to at least 10 to 15 people. I expect to close half of those or protect their families, half of those. Realistically, I'm helping about 3 families a day on good days, sometimes more, sometimes less.
Right.
Really, so I have a drive like no other, in all honesty. I like to, what Ms. Sherry was touching up on about getting the mindset right and getting, working out in the morning, taking a cold shower, meditating, and just getting your mind right before you start to dial, because people can sense that energy, whether it's in person or over the phone. You have to be centered. You have to have focus and be professional in the way you're presenting things. So I feel like exercise helps a lot, just getting your mind clear.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. It's like, if you're thinking about dialing and you're thinking about, oh, I'm scared to pick up the phone, your mind and your voice and everything that you're portraying to the client is going to have this fear behind it. But if you put your mind in the right space, like you said, meditating, working out, getting your mind right, and thinking about, I'm going to help 3 families today. I'm going to help 3 families today. You're gonna help 3 families today. It is what it is. And literally you have helped 3 families a day and some on good days. And it just comes down to you believing in it, and you truly just challenging these people to get them to understand like what this coverage really is, and believing in the coverage that you're offering them. Now I know
Absolutely.
we talked about leads a little bit, and I saw someone ask, he is calling on internet leads, only internet leads. That's the only thing he's called on. Not only CRM, but he's also going to other sources like EverQuote and Nectar. But you're brand new. So a lot of brand new agents are scared to make that investment, but you have not been scared at all. What is the threshold that you're doing weekly in terms of investing in leads?
So my first week, so a little backstory on why I was so scared to buy leads, because I was a top producer at another company that fed me live transfers all day. I had, several states in health. I was doing health before this, and several as in like 47. So anytime I clicked that online button, I was getting live transfers to my phone. But my pay was reflecting that. So instead of, so I kind of had to take that leap of faith. And I think I called Marcus and Moises probably 3 times within a week. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can invest this money into leads. I don't know. And then I had to drop the fear and just do it. And then first week came out swinging, 13 families helped. So my advice to new agents about dropping the money on the leads, there is no other way. I mean, and it's easier this way because you're not cold calling from a government list that you're hoping somebody answers the phone or it's the right number. These people have submitted a request, and it kind of took that first family helped for me to understand that. So when it comes to leads, I'm investing 500 my first week. Nectar matched that other 500, so about 1,000, right? And then the next week from there, I was only going up. Second week, 1,000. Third week, 1,250. Fourth week, I think it's at about 1,800 now. But I'm getting a constant flow, and like I've had to learn it. I mean, this business is a learning process, and you learn. And the good thing is not to repeat your past mistakes. So it's like this week, I learned I can't focus too much or rely too heavily on one lead flow, because when it doesn't happen, what are you supposed to do? Just stop? And it's like I'm very hard on myself. So I learn from those mistakes, and I go to another company, invest more money. If the first 1,000 doesn't work out, next thousand's coming out of my pocket until I make it up. So that's just my look on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love what you said, your numbers are going up. Because I know I made the mistake when I was new. I was super excited my first month and I was like, I'm going to put $1,000 into leads. And then I started getting comfortable and like, I was like helping more families. And then all of a sudden I started investing less into leads. And then I was like, what the heck? Why are my family's help going down? Why? Because I didn't have enough people to talk to. Why would you go backwards? If you are wanting to grow with this business, then you have to grow your investment in your leads and your investment in helping families. So I love that you said you're already like just adding a little bit more, adding a little bit more, adding a little bit more. And there's no reason people shouldn't correlate your investment in leads into already helping 45 families in your first 30 days. Like there's a direct correlation to that. So it just shows
exactly. It's
you're just adapting.
The way I look at it is the money that you're putting in towards these leads is really just money you're investing into yourself. I mean, if you believe in yourself, you will be able to, get your money back the first two families helped. And then from then it's just, it doesn't end. Like you have to invest more in yourself, the more you believe in yourself. And when you do that, you really can't lose. I
love it. Awesome. So we're getting to that time here. So I would love for you to just give like 3 of your tips that you would, if you're a brand new agent. So for another brand new agent that's on this call and maybe isn't having as much success as you are, what are some 3 tips that you could give them that would just help them propel and implement it today to get to where you're at?
Okay. So biggest thing, your brain is lying to you. You are good enough. You can do it. Do not make up situations and scenarios that have not happened yet. What if I buy these leads and they don't answer? What if all of them answer and you have a killer month or killer week or whatever you're looking at it? So it's like, don't make up false problems before they happen. So get out of your own head. Number 2, I would say is utilize your resources. Talk to your uplines. I remember Marcus introducing me. The first 2 people I talked to was S and Gage. So I'm calling Gage before I've even helped a family. And he sat down and talked to me and like, or not, on the phone, and gave me good advice and gave me tips, gave me dialing patterns and scripts. So it's like these people you think are bigwigs, they will sit down with you and give you tips and help you tremendously. I mean, I just am so thankful for them investing time into me when I had not shown any real progress yet, but them doing that, I mean, I skyrocketed, and it was because I attribute a lot of that to my uplines. So reach out to your networks, reach out to your uplines, and just absorb the advice they have to give to you. Number 3, honestly, the more money you invest in yourself, the more money or the more families you're going to help. So don't be scared to buy leads and invest in yourself. That is the name of the game. That is the business. I really like what they said about number 3. I would really say is getting your mind right before you sit down to dial, before you go out to these people's homes. People can tell your confidence level. They can sense it. They can tell if you're a genuine person. So, I mean, do what you got to do to get right before you start working, whether it's working out, praying, meditating, reading a devotion. Just get your mind right and you'll see everything fall into place.
Absolutely. I love that. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Get your mind right to the point of, you are going to help these families. Reach out to people that have already done this. There's so many people at Family First Life. The culture here is all about helping each other and lifting others up. If you're not pushing and using that culture that we have built here, then you're not putting yourself to that truest potential. So utilizing the resources we have. Those are some really great tips to implement into your business today and make sure that you can, get to the goals that you need to get to. And you've definitely taken ownership, in this business. So I'm very proud of everything that you've done so far and really excited to see what you're going to do, over the next year or so, and just get to see you grow with this business. So I appreciate everything that you've done. Everyone drop another TY if you're thankful for everything that he brought to the table today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was an honor. Appreciate it.